grab your popcorn, grab your decapitated head, get your butter, get your bag of blood. This is the 2022 edition of the 31 Days of Dread, where Peter A. DeLuca, aka Pad, your boy here, the film buff, does one horror movie a day, and that's me talking. I'm your host. I'm not a vampire. I'm almost a zombie because I've just been doing nothing but watching these movies so I can discuss them all with you. But here it is, the 31 Days of Dread. Everyone, I am so excited to bring you these movies. We're doing modern day horror for the first time ever. We're barely even going to hit 2021. We're going to focus on 2022. So roll over in that coffin and let's go. AKA Padders. So this is originally the original planned second to the last of the 31 Days of Dread. Terrifier 2 leading into Pearl, the sequel to X. I think that's going to be a trilogy that's leading into Magnum or Magnux with 3 X's or something. But so we have something special here. We talk a lot. I'm just trying to get some of my thoughts together. We speak a lot of the horror legends, Chucky from Child's Play, Michael Myers from Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. We know all. I mean, if you were to start like a action figure line or a horror mug line for people to put their hot coffee in, that's who we would pick. Everyone I just named. Those are the licensed. I mean, maybe even Ghostface from Scream. But we have like 5 or 6 outside of the original Universal monsters, which is Wolfman, Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, or The Creature, Dracula. You guys see where I'm going. But today, we have Victor Crowley, Hatchet, and we have Terrifier. I didn't realize until I was like midway through Terrifier 2, because I just had to look up who was directing this movie. A while ago, Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese. It was one or the two, or it just could have been one of those like anecdotes that gets repeated by multiple individuals. But when you were to like first see a movie, if you have to look at your watch, you're watching a bad movie. Me looking up the director or the people behind this movie is the opposite of that. It's a affirmation that this person has grabbed me. They have taken me into a world. They have transported me. And, as you would with a pee break or a popcorn refill, nowadays even possibly a vibrating phone call. That's what she said. It's a way for you to connect to the movie a little bit deeper for myself. So I had to look it up. Damien Leone. And when I looked it up, Damien, I saw this All Halloween's Eve, and I clicked on the linkable text for that because we're on Wikipedia here, and I see the artwork for All Halloween's Eve, and then I had like a flash recall where yes, I do remember the Terrifier being in this movie. I have yet to see it. A couple years ago, we spoke about Terrifier and Clown. And yeah, both of those movies beyond there. But we now have the birth with Terrifier 2, the birth of a modern day horror icon, which is amazing. And the reason why it's amazing because we live in a deconstructed criticism world. Our critics are not critics anymore. We do have, influencers on YouTube. They're already going through all the Avatar stuff. They've been doing it for a day. They did it for Wakanda Forever. And the movies that should get focus from those individuals get overlooked. They get taken for granted. Because the Terrifier here, Terrifier 2, costs $250,000. And it's made about $12 million. Legend number 2. Legend number 1. We have a new horror icon. Legend number 2. We have a independent horror frenzy. People flipped out about this movie. People loved this movie. This movie was beyond viral. But it won't penetrate this upper layer when it comes to criticism and conversation. It doesn't penetrate the layer when we talk about film, technique, and vision. What are we doing with our money? What are we doing today to make today special on set? How do we get the most out of this? How do we get it done on time? How do we get it done faster? I'll tell you one thing. Terrifier 2 probably solved more problems as a production than Avatar: The Way of the Water ever did. Because the more you strip the creator of resources, the more you find that creator. Now, we're not dismissing Avatar, because we know I love Avatar. And then we have this other thread that has to get approached when it comes to the anti-film criticism out there. It's a, what would you do in these shoes scenario? What would you do with these resources? What would you do with this character? Where would we go? And here's the amazing thing. This movie goes into a mystical realm. It's mythic. It's metaphorical. It's allegorical. It's all of these things. But we have to get into at this point. And I feel like a lot of horror icons have to cross this bridge. Because we have to somehow explain more of what we're seeing. We talked about, like we talk about how they did that with Nightmare, with Friday, Chucky. Child's Play begins with it, which is awesome, and it does elaborate and expand per sequel. I think that Child's Play does it better than anyone of that era, just with the evolution of the backstory and origin and mythos leading into Bride of Chucky. But Terrifier 2 tells you, it starts to explain it. It starts to hint at things. It starts to tell you that there's deeper forces at play here. And we're along for the ride. We're supposed to have fun. We're supposed to turn away. We're supposed to be sick at times. And also be confused because our protagonist, our murderer, our demon murderer, he's a mime. The dude don't talk. He is 100 times more scary than Freddy because his jokes are the violence. His Freddy has puns post-violence. He's got one-liners. But we have a mime. And yes, you have to see these scenes more than once and watch the mime do the mime's work. It's hard to see on the first time. The nature of our creature, of our axe wielding slasher in this movie, just the nature of it calls for a reviewing, a rewatch. But then we also have this other thread from these critics where we all know what to say about this movie. We all know how to say it. This movie confuses us. Are we supposed to have fun in this movie? And if we are having fun, how do we judge this movie? How do we look at it? How is it rated? What What are we supposed to tell our audience about Terrifier 2 other than it being hot on the internet, other than it being clickable, other than stories of the audience walking out and throwing up during this movie when it starts to circulate? I never bought that, by the way, but that didn't mean the movie didn't have merit. So at this point, Damien Leone is marching towards Terrifier 3. And this is the biggest challenge of this movie, because we have delved into into a little bit of the origin. We were able to like sniff around the corpse of what exactly we're dealing with here. And when it comes to story, when it comes to continuity, it's a tough shell to crack. It's tough, but I can't wait. I cannot wait to see what the movement is for Terrifier 2. What step are we taking for Terrifier 3? I mean, sorry, I said 2. I meant 3. But we cannot dismiss some of these people, especially Lauren Rivera. She's awesome. She's your scream queen, beyond measure. Talented, awesome. Visually, what they did with her, because we're in like a Halloween setting, so, and I think that adds to this movie, just makes it a little bit more dreamlike, a little bit more surreal. That we have like a girl with like metal angel wings, like running around. Her friend Elliot Fullman, who plays I think her brother Johnny. I think I'm just going full memory here. And the kid's freaking awesome. And I mean, we're almost in an age too where the child actor is legit. We were always told that you never have kids and you never have pets on set. And this is why you didn't see a lot of movies with these two things. And, kids were temperamental. The union had a lot of weird rules around kids. So it's like, like there was reason and cause for that position. But Johnny is a legit actor. He's a kid. And you just root for him. You're with him throughout this entire movie. He's almost like the heart of the movie. I feel like he is the audience, and the things that he sees, and it's just awesome. We have some amazing deaths. The death of the mother, the death of one of her friends. I was trying to pinpoint the scene that would have turned people away. And we have like torture porn or torture violence, but then we also have like shock violence and sudden violence and fun violence. We have this array, and it's a lot, like historically comparing it. I mean, it's a lot of what we see in Hatchet, where the deaths are just so much fun. I felt like we saw this in this year's Texas Chainsaw, the Netflix one. And we got nothing but adulation, like nothing to get excited and look forward to the next installment. And that's a little bit of a horror staple. It has to lead into another movie, especially when we're creature-based or slasher-based. If we're not excited for the next movie, like excited, like truthfully excited, we're losing face. We really are. And I just feel like here, this movie deserves everything it got. It got all the attention, lived up to the hype. It's exciting. It is also what it is, meaning, it's a little corny. And you're going to be disappointed because of the hype. There's too much hype around this movie. But it's there. It's truthful. It's honest. It's well made. Expertly shot. I love some of the frames in this movie. I think they're poster worthy. I love the violence. I love the entire cast. I love what we're doing with the direction, what we're telling our actors to do, and how they're reacting, and what moments they're in. There is a through line from scene to scene when it comes from character to character throughout this entire movie. Well done, bravo, complete surprise, and yeah, this is everything of Legend, creating an iconic character, creating so much off of little resources. This is, as filmmakers, this is what everyone dreams of. And it's here. It's in our hand. It's called Terrifier 2. And it's a fun masterpiece. Peter A. DeLuca here, signing out. The future of film is harder, and thanks for all of that, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me. Getting back to my point there. The future is harder. The future of cinema is harder. So everyone here, and I've never, ever, in all these years, I've never made this request. But everyone that we highlight, every single filmmaker, male, female, ghoul, goblin, you know the drill. But check them out. Find them on a streaming platform. I usually highlight how I watch these movies on which platform, even if I rented it or bought it, so you guys know a little bit of the price range. It's important that we support all of these movies and all of these filmmakers because they are the future. The future is harder. Thanks for hanging out.